This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, October the 3rd, in the year 1989, the Oakland Raiders finally made history, giving Art Shell, yes, the guy with the jersey, the chance to become the first African-American head coach in the NFL's modern era. Now, there was people saying, oh, he's the first African-American head coach in pro football history. But nope, that is actually false. Fritz Pollard in the 1920s did so. But anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? So anyway, Art Shell played for Maryland State College, a.k.a. University of Maryland Eastern Shore. So he played offensive tackle and helped the Raiders play in Super Bowls 11 and 15, winning both times. So he won 2 Super Bowl rings in his career. He played from 1968 to 1982 with the Raiders organization. Went to 8 Pro Bowls. The Raiders were really in a bind. They had this young guy by the name of Mike Shanahan, who Art Davis didn't really trust. So after some meddling by Davis, Shanahan said, screw you, I'm done, and left. Shanahan would later go on to help Denver win 2 Super Bowls in the 90s, breaking their 0-4 Super Bowl drought. So Art Shell knew what he could do for the Raiders. He was the offensive line coach, now became the head coach after 2 games. So Art Shell would help the Raiders out. So the Raiders were looking big. And as much as Al Davis is kind of a dick in a sense, at least he had the foresight to hire a coach, a black head coach. Shanahan was 1-3. Shell came in for the rest of the 89 season and helped them go 7-5. Okay, they didn't go to the playoffs, but still, Shell went above 500. And then in the 1990 season, they won the division. It was amazing. They took care of the Cincinnati Bengals 20-10. Unfortunately, that was also the game that Bo Jackson ripped his hip flexor and cost him his NFL career. But his baseball career, he somehow came back and did it. So that was, of course, the year that they went to Buffalo for the AFC title game and got shell-shocked. Pun unintended. 51-3 to Buffalo. It's like, ugh. 51-3. But yeah, Buffalo was just that good. But the Raiders were happy when Buffalo lost the Super Bowl to the Giants. In the 91 season, they ended up 3rd in the AFC West, but still made the playoffs at 9-7. They went to Kansas City and somehow lost to the Chiefs 10-6 in a brutal defensive battle. In 92, they ended up 7-9, last in the division. 93, they did better. They got to 10 wins and got to go to the playoffs. They would face Elway, the Broncos, and I believe Mike Shanahan. No, Mike Shanahan was not there yet. Dan Reeves still was coaching, I think. No, it was Shanahan or something. It had to be because Dan Reeves was coaching the Giants at the time. But anyway, the Broncos got crushed 42-24 in Los Angeles at the Memorial Coliseum. The last time that the Raiders would play in Los Angeles. Bear in mind, the Raiders went back to Oakland in 95, but then they moved to Vegas. Anyway, they went back to Buffalo and nearly took care of the Bills, but they lost 29-23 in a snowstorm. After a 9-7 finish in 94, Shell was fired. Although Al Davis did say it was a mistake. But I mean, when you have playoff failures and all that, you can't do that. Shell would become offensive line coach for Kansas City and Atlanta. and he even came back in 2006. It was weird how the Raiders would get him back 12 years after getting rid of him. Unfortunately for SHell, he helped Oakland win only 2 games that year, 2-14, their worst mark since 1963. Can you imagine? So yeah, so as a head coach in regular season with the Raiders, he was 56-52. Could have been a whole lot better, but of course, that 2-14 mark. In the postseason, he only was 2-3, so not really that great. But you know what? Doesn't matter. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the Collegiate Hall of Fame. Doesn't matter. Who cares? But yeah, Al Davis, for how much of a dick he was to Pete Rozelle and to everyone else, he at least had the foresight to hire Art Shell as a head coach, giving African Americans a voice of reason and helping people like Dennis Green, Tony Dungy, and yes, Mike Tomlin get to that big step and do well. End of story. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.